Everyone tap on the window and make sure we're recording. Good. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Village of Royal Palm Beach Special Magistrate hearing for Wednesday, February 26, 2025. According to Verizon, it's 10:02. We can get started. My name is Doug McGibbon. We are here for one case. It's an irreversible violation hearing on case number 25-182, located at 146 Valencia Street. First thing I'm going to do is swear everyone in. So everyone who's going to testify, please raise your right hand. Say, I do when we're done. Does everyone swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Do you, sir? Yes? I affirm. Okay. All right, what's going to happen here is you can stay right there at that podium. The city attorney is going to show you some documentation to see if you object to it. The code inspector is going to put on his evidence. You can question him. You can put on evidence of your own. And at the end, I get to make a decision. So we will take it away from there, sir.
Thank you, Special Magistrate Amity Barnard, Village Attorney. As you said, this is an irreversible violation hearing, 25-0182, 146 Valencia Street, Sybil Moise.
Good morning, Special Magistrate. My name is Andrew Armienti. I'm a code inspector with the Village of Royal Palm Beach. The code sections at hand are 23-16A15, 23-18B3, 61918, 619312, and 26792. RV was parked in the swell, RV being used for living and sleeping, an extension cord hooked up to the RV over the sidewalk, which created a tripping hazard. I observed the violation on 2/18/25, and the notice of violation was sent on 2/19/25 and posted. And the notice of hearing as well was sent certified on 2/19/25 and posted. I'd like to submit the following documents into evidence. Exhibit 1 is a notice of violation, notice of hearing with an affidavit of service. Exhibit 2 is the verification of ownership, and Exhibit 3 are the pictures.
Okay.
Your name, sir?
Kenneth Harris.
And what's your relation to Sybil Moise?
I'm her husband.
I presume she knows you're here today?
Yes.
Okay. These are the exhibits that the village would like to enter into the record. Exhibit 1 is the affidavit of service for the notice of violation and notice of hearing. This is the notice of violation and notice of hearing. Exhibit 2 is verification of ownership, showing who owns the property. And Exhibit 3 is dated photographs of the violation. Any objection to these documents being entered into the record?
No, not at all.
All right, admitted without objection. All right, so your pictures dated February 26, 2025 shows, what, 3 cords across? 2 or 3 cords going into the travel trailer?
Special Magistrate, the 18th of February, I pulled up to the property, and as I'm walking towards the front door, I saw a young lady come out of the RV asking me if I was the physical therapist. There was TV going on inside of the RV. I saw all those cords and hoses hooked up over the sidewalk that were connected to some sort of electrical outlet or an outlet in the garage. I let her know I wasn't the physical therapist, that I was a code enforcement officer. And I knocked on the front door and I spoke to the property owner's mother. And that's when she put me on the phone with the property owner, Ms. Seibel, I think is the pronunciation.
Sybil.
Seibel, thank you, sir. I spoke with her and I let her know that people can't live in the RV and it wasn't parked in the right spot. Her response was, can you give me 30 days on a violation? I said, I can't do that. It needs to be done now. Most I can do is a day and you can't have anybody living in there. Conversation got a little bit hostile, so that's when I kind of backed off on the phone. Spoke to the mother, let her know what was going on, and kind of explained more. And then I went back to the office and took the pictures, and that's what happened. So it's connected with hoses, electrical cord. It's no longer connected. It wasn't connected on the 25th, but it was still parked in the swell. When I went back this morning, the RV was gone.
Okay.
So Special Magistrate, as you see, we've set this as irreparable and irreversible. You cannot, by village code, have the RV parked where it is and people living in it or power to it. There are requirements, as you know, you do a lot of code enforcement in this village with where these types of vehicles have to be parked. If they're in the swale, they have to be moved within a certain amount of time, and they certainly can't have electrical cords or any other water or any other kind of hoses going to the vehicle. So this is a serious violation. The village has no idea how the power is connected. As Mr. Armienti said, he didn't go into the garage, but we presume it's plugged in somewhere in the house. So there are probably fire code issues, but certainly this is not something that can persist. So I'm happy to hear that it's removed today. We did set this as irreparable and irreversible. Under the state law, we could ask for a $5,000 fine. We're not asking for that. The village, as you see, did set a special hearing for this. We're asking for a $1,500 fine, which would include a fine amount plus the administrative costs to get this case to hearing, to get the recreational vehicle disconnected, the people not living in it, and ultimately the vehicle moved.
Okay. Anything further?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Harris, tell us your side.
Well, for one, the RV was not being lived in. It was malfunctioning electrically, so I was charging the battery. That's why the cords were across there. And one cord was going into the RV to run the fan because I was trying to repair it, and it gets extremely hot in there. And that's the only reason the cord was there.
All right, so we're talking February, and you're saying it's extremely hot.
Oh, no, being inside the RV during the daytime, yes, it is trying to work, and that is a small confined area, so it heats up really fast, and you're trying to do electrical work in there, so I'm trying to figure out what was the problem, and I still haven't been able to find out what the problem was, why it wasn't working properly. So, but I do agree that, yes, I did have the cords there. There was no water hose hooked up to it.
All right, so who is the young lady?
The young lady was a friend of ours that was staying at our home. Okay, so she wasn't living in the RV. Her and my wife, every day were out there working on the inside because I used the RV for rental for an income. So we were cleaning it and fixing it and repairing it. Okay, I didn't know how long I was able to live there because the whole street there, Ponce de Leon, has got RVs parked out in their driveway and on the sidewalks, on the swell. So I assumed, which is my fault, that would be fine. It was only going to be for a few days so I could get it done. But
Yeah,
I parked there.
I live in La Mancha.
Huh?
I live in La Mancha.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know Ponce de Leon very well. And actually, one of the RVs is a friend of mine who owns it. And he puts it in a storage area and brings it home every once in a while, but he moves it.
Yes, and
He does it.
Mr. Andrew gave me information about that storage unit. I went and checked it out yesterday myself. I didn't realize that we had that available to us, and it's only $65
But the
a
problem
month.
is,
But I know now.
I walk my dogs.
Yeah.
And I walked them yesterday with my wife and my two daughters, and we don't want to be tripping and falling on sidewalks with electrical
understand.
cords. And this is not an acceptable use. And you're talking about, these things on Ponce de Leon, well, most of them are backed up beside the house. They've got pads poured so they don't interfere with the sidewalks.
I understand.
And you're running cords out there to work on this, and
Well, I was unable to. Well, sir.
this is not an acceptable place to work on it. If you would have put it in your driveway, that might have worked.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't, and you
but
put it in the
as-
swale, and the swale requires that you move every 24 hours.
I was unaware of that. And as Mr. Andrews informed me that even if I parked it in my driveway because it's so long, it would be a foot into the sidewalk, and I couldn't do that as well. But everyone else,
Didn't they just pass a new RV ordinance here that allowed you to do a little bit of encroachment? No. No? What?
Never block the sidewalk with anything.
Okay.
That's a violation of state statute as well as village ordinance. The code for the RV was pertaining to areas that do not have sidewalks,
Okay.
because they have that imaginary line where the sidewalk would be. So they had to stay back 11 feet from, I believe it's 11 feet from the curb.
Okay. And that's the only other RV ordinance I know of in the village that has been changed, right? Okay, so,
So, but as I emailed him, 10 other pictures of people in, their front of their RV is on the sidewalk, and it's been like that for months.
okay, well, the throw your neighbors under the bus defense doesn't work for your, no, you just did. And that's fine.
But if I put mine there, I was told not to do it because of that, but all the other ones were allowed to. So, and my neighbor, one of my neighbors threw me under the bus because the people that are around me had no problems with where my RV was at the time. Like I said, I
Just, no, all those cords across the sidewalk are just a whole pile of liability for the village and yourself. That sidewalk is the village property, basically.
yes, sir.
And they are liable if we trip and fall walking our dogs past your house.
Yes, sir.
And it's your fault. So,
So Magistrate, just like to add one more thing, this was a complaint from Public Works because they were trying to do work on the sidewalk and they couldn't. That's why I
How
was
it
out there
started.
20 minutes after I received that complaint.
yeah.
So our village public works department was trying to do repairs to the sidewalk and couldn't because of the way that this is set up.
So they're saying they had a work order to work on the sidewalk and they couldn't get to it because of your cords. Whether that's true or not, I don't care, because what we have is obvious proof up on the screens of cords going out to this vehicle in violation of all kinds of rules and statutes and ordinances.
And I just want Mr. Armienti, if we could, to testify. It wasn't just that the pictures you have are from the 18th, but you saw, tell the magistrate the days that you saw the same setup continuing to persist. So the argument that there was some minimal amount of maintenance being done, it was multiple days. So go ahead and tell the magistrate what days you saw the same setup.
I saw the cords connected on the 18th. When I went back on the 24th, which was a Monday, there weren't cords connected, but the RV was still in the swell. Same with yesterday, and today it was gone.
Okay. So they had opportunities to remove it earlier and they didn't? Okay.
But when he saw it in the swell, when he interacted with me on the swell right then, because I was already hooked up, as the other picture showed, that I had my truck hooked up. I was moving the vehicle when he came by.
Yesterday, yes, sir. I spoke with this gentleman. That's when we had the conversation about the RV parking, and I saw him
That was yesterday, but that wasn't the day before yesterday, or?
yesterday. And on the 18th, when I was there, you could, I don't know how the RV terminology, but when you can expand it out to create more space in the RV,
You open the
TV
slide.
was on, yeah. So just wanted to add that.
Okay, so it was all
The
parked
jacks.
and opened up and
It wasn't
spread
open up,
out?
sir.
Oh.
And the levelers.
Okay. Why did it take so long to move it? Because I'm looking at a fine here of $1,500 and I have testimony to back it up.
Because I was trying to repair the electrical, because it would not turn on.
I don't see how that gives you a buy for complying with the laws, though.
Like I said, I didn't realize there was a thing there because, like I said, everyone else had their RVs out there, so I figured I was in
And no one else
compliance.
had cords across the sidewalks or
Well,
anything like that.
Okay,
Special magistrate, there's testimony that Mr. Armienti saw somebody inside watching TV, not doing repairs, watching TV, and the person who was inside asked him if he was the physical therapist there to do physical therapy. So there's more testimony that somebody was actually in the RV watching television, waiting for a service person to come to that RV. So
Yeah, it's
that's not
just
doing repairs.
person coming out of the house, not in the RV.
I heard the testimony that
He just stated that.
saw a woman go, you can repeat it, please.
To be clear, when I pulled up to the property, there was a young lady that came out of the RV, started walking up to me and asked me if I was the physical therapist. My response was no, I'm the code officer with the village. Then she went back into the RV. And that's when I saw as I was walking by, I saw the TV was on, but when I was walking up, that's when she came out of the RV.
Okay. I mean, I don't like doing these things, but if I have proof, what can I do other than follow the proof?
I understand.
Okay, so I find that there was an irreparable, irreversible violation at 146 Valencia Street with the non-movement of a recreational vehicle in addition to cords and lines across the sidewalk, and I'll find in favor of the village and their $1,500 fine amount.
And Special Magistrate, I apologize if I missed it. Did you make a finding on service?
Service is done by posting, at least according to this affidavit, so yes, you do have service.
Thank you.
So, sorry, but the rules are the rules. Okay?
Thank you, Special Magistrate.
All right, anything else? All right, sir, we're done. You'll get an order in the mail.